in this lesson we'll assign shaders for our objects. So I'm just going to go to the regular display and zoom in. So I can use my mouse wheel to do that. And then we could select the objects. So let's go ahead, select the ground. And if you remember, it's this tab here, the material tab. Okay, and then we're going to, it's already got a shading slot, so we can create a new material by pressing plus. And then this is a new material called material 1. So we can call that ground. I'm just going to add an M to these for material. And then let's switch to another renderer called cycles. So we're going to take this and switch to cycles. Let me just show you what this looks like. If I go to rendered, you can see that's the old version, the Blender render. And if we switch to cycles, you're going to see it looks much cooler. So we've got this kind of ambient lighting coming from this grey, and that's basically lighting up this scene, giving you all these subtle shadows, plus you've got the light giving you the hard shadows. The place where you set that background color is this world section here, and you can see it's set to grey there. We'll have a look at this in detail a bit later, but for now let's assign our shaders. So we've got our ground material there, and we're just going to set the color. So I'm just going to set this to a temporary color of maybe blue here, a bit more. Okay, we can adjust this later. Then we've got the walls here. So again, we can just press plus here and then create a new material and call that walls. And then I'm going to actually leave that on white, so that looks a bit brighter. And then we'll have the shelf here. So I'm going to click on that. So I'm going to click on this and then make sure it says shelf there. You can see that hasn't got anything assigned to it, so you can just click on new, and that's going to assign it a new slot and a new material. So we can say shelf M. Okay, and we'll give that a color, maybe a bit more of a brighter blue. I think I'm going to give this one the same, the chair the same. So I'm going to add a slot, and this is just to show you how to assign a shader which is already existing. So I create a slot, then I click on this little button here, and then I get a list of all the shaders already there. So I'm going to assign it the same one as the shelf. Okay, so it's the same color. And then I'm going to select the table here and create a new material. Give that a sort of brown, light brown for now. And then let's select the blanket here. Haven't actually named it, so double click on that. Blanket. Okay, so new material. Blanket M, and we'll just make this a bright orange because I want this to be the kind of focus here. Then we'll grab the frame here. If you're not sure if you're selecting things, you can go to the regular display if you want to. I've just got it on this render display because it looks cooler and we can see what we're doing. But you could just go to material here and you just see the colors in a flat way. But for now, I'm going to use the rendered mode. By the way, you might hear your fan starting to speed up because it's actually doing a lot of work. It's actually rendering this while we're changing stuff. So that's pretty cool. It's in real time. So let's grab this. And this guy, if you remember, the bed has basically got, just make sure you've selected the bed there rather than the ground. You can see it said ground before. The bed has got two different things. It's got the mattress and the frame. So what we'll do is add two slots. Okay, and then we'll add something to the first one. So we're going to create new. I'll call this frame. And then I'm going to make this sort of dark brown. Remember what we said about saturation? So if I go to HSV, make it kind of desaturated. Oops, a bit too much there. And then make it darker. Can have something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to select the mattress and make that a bit whiter. So if I select this guy and then assign a new material, call that mattress. Okay, I'm going to make that, well, we'll adjust it in a minute, but let's just assign this. So we need to go to the regular display here. And what I'll do is go into edit mode. So press tab. Actually, before we do that, we'll say Shift H to get rid of everything. Then we'll go into edit mode by coming in here. And then you can select, I've already got those faces selected, but if you haven't got them selected, you can you can click on the top and then expand your selection just like we did before, so more, less, more. Okay, and then we've selected those things. Then we can click on the material and just click on assign, and now we should have the material assigned. Brilliant. Okay, so I can press come out of edit mode here and then press Alt H to bring everything back, and there we go. And maybe that needs to be slightly different to the pillow just to make it stand out a bit, so maybe the pillow can be a bit whiter, so I'll just make that a bit darker. Okay, let's do the picture. So I'm going to select the picture, and again we're going to have two slots. We're going to have one for the frame and one for the actual picture, so we'll press 1, 2, and we've got two slots. So then we'll make the first one the main one, which is going to be the frame, and then we'll add another one here, which is going to be the picture. Okay, so let's make the frame a different color, like a black or a gray. Okay, and then I'm going to assign this picture to the face here, so I can click on this, go to edit mode, and let's just show you this so it's a bit clearer. Select this face. So again, we're selecting the wrong thing there, so let's grab this guy, press tab, and then select the face, and then we'll be able to grab this and say assign. Okay, remember this mode here, material, will show you the colors, so that's pretty cool. You can see if you've assigned the right thing, and then we'll go back to object and we'll go back to rendered. So there we go. Okay, we can create some variations on these books a bit later. We can create some more colors a bit later, but for now we've set up some shaders on here so we can start to work. So I'm just going to save that. I'll go to File, Save As, and increment this, and save. So in this lesson we assigned shaders to all the different objects in our scene.